Hi, my name's Katie Pistol. I'm the Executive Director and Founder of Beautiful Brokenness Ministries, and I want to invite you to join me on Saturday, April 20th at Clark Equestrian in Louisa, Virginia, for a really special event. People ask me all the time, Katie, what do horses have to do with God? I mean, like, what's the connection? And for me, it's a heart connection. I've always loved horses since I was a little girl. But I want to talk about why I think this is what God has, why I think this is the purpose for this new thing called equine-assisted discipleship. So first I want to define discipleship. Discipleship is a process where someone becomes more and more intimately aware of God's perfect provision, protection, and presence. I don't know about you, but for me, I can forget that I belong to Jesus, that I belong to love. I can forget that He's got me, that He's got my back, that He's already seen the beginning and the end because He's not bound in time. When I forget these things, I can get anxious. So it's really important for my freedom that I walk in the truth. So what is the truth about God and horses? So it starts in Genesis, of course, which is the beginning of the story. So in Genesis, we see God creating three specific kinds of animals. He creates the creeping, crawling animals, which I think are like the turtles and the snakes. He creates the livestock, which I think horses are livestock, and I think the purpose for horses is this thing called equine-assisted discipleship. And then He made the wild beasts. And I think the wild beasts became the predators. So we're still in Genesis 1. Genesis 1:30, God says, "Behold, I have given you every green plant for food. It shall be food for every living soul." So everything that was in the garden was eating plants. Nobody was eating anybody in the Garden of Eden until mankind chose to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And I think this law of predator and prey is an amazing analogy for this law of sin and death. Both of these laws broke relationship apart, and the creatures divided into predator and prey. The other thing, though, about Genesis is that God created these three very specific animals, and then He said, "And let us make man in our image." Man is not an animal. We were created in a completely different way for a completely different purpose. So that's just a little bit about what we're going to be talking about at the New Life Horsemanship Clinic/retreat. So the retreat will be in the morning from 9 to 12, and then we'll have lunch. And then there will be horses there in the afternoon for folks who want to explore this equine-assisted discipleship thing with their own horses. If you're a horse lover, you may want to stay for the whole day just to see what everyone else is doing. We might have one more spot available for a horse. They filled up pretty quickly, but check with me if you're interested in bringing your horse to the whole thing. I hope I get to see you on April 20th. It'll change the way you see life, I guarantee it. I'll see you in the round pen.